What's up, guys? We are talking today about the Majestic 12. For ages, they was said to not exist and all this, but now we have the files. So we're gonna give this a read, and yeah, let's see what they have to say about it. There's actually files on the actual alleged Majestic 12 members, and stuff that they were doing and all that. So yeah, let's have a read and see what this has to say. So, background: Majestic 12 is the purported name of a secret committee of scientists, military leaders, and government officials, supposedly formed in 1947 by an executive order of US President Harry S. Truman. The purpose of the committee was to investigate UFO activity in the aftermath of the Roswell incident. The purported crash of an alien spaceship near Roswell, New Mexico in July 1947, uh, which for ages they said that didn't happen either. um, this alleged committee is part of an important part, or is an important part of the UFO conspiracy theory, which obviously now we know it's not a conspiracy theory because it's been proven, well, by the Pentagon and the U.S. Navy, and also other world governments. But I'll get onto that in another video. Uh, of an ongoing government cover-up of UFO information. So they've been covering this shit up since 1947, and it's only sort of recently started coming out, like within the last 5 years. So something like 65 years of cover-up. So Document Archive. I always wanted to call it archive for some reason, but yeah, archive. The following FBI files were requested, and which are the alleged members of MJ12, Majestic 12, and even the FBI's file on MJ12 itself. Although some of these files have nothing to do with UFOs or MJ12, these are the alleged members that are archived here. So original alleged Majestic 12 members. So the top file, I'm still not sure if they mean that particular file was bogus or like a different one was on that, but I'll read it anyway. So MJ12 FBI file, 24 pages. Subject concerns an FBI inquiry into a possible unauthorized disclosure of classified information when a document marked top secret was made public. According to the FBI, the investigation was closed after it was learned that the document was completely bogus. I mean, that could be also part of the cover-up, so it's kind of hard to tell. I don't know if it's that particular file or a different one, or if this file is on a different file or something. But anyway, let's get to the members. We've got Lloyd Berkner. There's 135 pages in him. If you want to read them, you can click there when you click the source material in the description. I won't worry about reading where, like, when they're born and stuff. He was an American physicist and engineer. He was one of the inventors of the measuring device that since has become standard at ionosphere stations because it measures the height and electron density of the ionosphere. The data obtained in the worldwide net of such instruments were important for the developing theory of shortwave radio propagation, to which Berkner himself gave important contributions. Additional information was found at the FBI that originated at the CIA. The FBI forwarded these records to the CIA for review and declassification, and the CIA information informed me that all material on Berkner was classified. Ooh, so he's classified still. So that's documents denial letter, if you want to check that out. Detlev Bronk, or Bronk Detlev, weird name. So was a prominent American scientist, educator, and administrator. He is credited with establishing biophysics as a recognized discipline. Bronk served as president of Johns Hopkins University from 1949 to 1953, and as president of the Rockefeller University from 1953 to 1968. Bronk also held the title of, or held the presidency of the National Academy of Sciences between 1950 and 1962. Please note, according to the FBI, more pages exist on Bronk and are being sent to another government agency for release, and they will post when available. We've got uh, Vannevar Bush. I'm guessing maybe he's part of the Bush family. That'd be interesting. Vannevar Bush, that was an American engineer, inventor, and science administrator, whose most important contribution was as head of the U.S. Office of Scientific Research and Development (OSRD) during World War II, through which almost all wartime military R&D was carried out. Not really sure. I guess R&D means research and development, including initiation and early administration of the Manhattan Project. He is also known in engineering for his work on analog computers, for founding Raytheon, and for the MEMX, and adjustable microfilm viewer with a structure analogous to that of the World Wide Web. Bush was also an alleged member of the Majestic 12 group. Please note, as admitted by the FBI, an entire file on Bush was destroyed. Oh, how convenient. According to the FBI, one record, in brackets 161 BS 1452, which may be responsive to your FOIA request, was destroyed in April of 1998. So they're trying to cover up what he did, maybe because he was a Bush. And I can't remember who was president at that time, but I think one of the Bushes might have been. So that would explain why these files were destroyed. We've got James Forrestal. There's 290 pages on him. James Forrestal was the last cabinet level United States Secretary of the Navy and the first United States Secretary of Defense. Forrestal was a supporter of naval battle groups centered on aircraft carriers. In 1954, the world's first supercarrier was named USS Forrestal in his honor, as is the headquarters of the United States Department of Energy. He is also the namesake of the Forrestal Lecture Series at the United States Naval Academy, which brings prominent military and civilian leaders to speak to the Brigade of Midshipmen, and of the James Forrestal campus of Princeton University in Plainsboro Township, New Jersey. Just gonna have a sip of my drink. We've got Gordon Gray. 349 pages on him. He was an official in the government of the United States during the administration of Harry Truman, 1945-1953, and Dwight Eisenhower, 1953 to 61, associated with defense and national security. This is a hard name to say. Adam Roscoe Henry Helen Coeta, or Cota. He was the third director of the post-World War II United States Central Intelligence Group, CIG, the third director of Central Intelligence, DCI, and the first director of the Central Intelligence Agency created by the National Security Act of 1947. He served as DCI and director of the CIG and CIA from May 1, 1947 to October 7, 1950. And after his retirement from the United States Navy, he was a member of the Board of Governors of National Investigations Committee on Aerial Phenomena, e.g. alien spacecraft, NICAP, from 1957 to 1962. Jerome Hunsaker. Um, he was an American airman born in and educated at Naval Academy and Massachusetts Institute of Technology. According to the FBI, Hunsaker's file was destroyed September 24, 2004. They like destroying files, don't they? And if the files have, if they're destroyed, they must have something, pretty big on them that they don't want out, don't want to get released to the public. So Donald Menzel was one of the first theoretical astronomers and astrophysicists in the US. He discovered the physical properties of the solar chromosphere, the chemistry of the stars, the atmosphere of Mars, and the nature of gaseous nebulae. Robert M. Montague, 2 pages on him. Oh, that guy's got 209 pages, so fair bit on him if you want to come here and click on that and then check it out. So Robert M. Montague was a lieutenant general in the United States Army. He received prominence as the deputy commander of Fort Bliss, Texas, and commander of the Sandia Missile Base in New Mexico during the start of modern ufology, and head of the U.S. Caribbean Command, or Caribbean Command. The FBI claims that they could not find a file on Montague, probably because it was destroyed, just like those other ones. But there is 2 pages on him, but yeah. So Sydney Adam ADM Sewers. Maybe ADM is like a army type title. I'm not sure, unless they mean Adam. Was an American admiral. Oh yeah, maybe that's. Maybe that means American admiral. Oh yeah, that makes sense because ADM. And so he was an American admiral and intelligence expert. Admiral Sewers, I'm not sure what they mean by ear there, was appointed as the first director of Central Intelligence on January 23, 1946, by President Harry S. Truman. Prior to this, as Deputy Director of Naval Intelligence, Sewers had been one of the architects of the system that came into being with the President's directive. He had written the intelligence chapter of the Ed Burstad report, which advocated a unified intelligence system towards the end of 1945, when the competing plans for a national intelligence system were deadlocked. Sewers' views had come to the attention of the President, and he seemed to have played a role in breaking the impasse. 691 pages on that guy. General Nathan Twining was a United States Air Force general born in Monroe, Wisconsin. He was Chief of Staff to the United States Air Force from 1953 until 1957, as Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff from 1957 to 1960. He was the first member of the Air Force that serve in that role. And we got last one. There's other alleged members here, there's only 2 of them, so quickly read through those after this guy. So we got Hoyt Vandenberg, or Vandenberg, Hoyt, yeah, I think that's his first name, so Hoyt Vandenberg. He was a U.S. Air Force general, its second Chief of Staff, and second Director of the Central Intelligence. During World War II, Vandenberg was the commanding general of the 9th Air Force, a tactical air force in England and in France, supporting the army from August 1944 until VE Day. Vandenberg Air Force Base on the central coast of California is named for General Vandenberg. In 1946, he was briefly the U.S. Chief of Military Intelligence. He was the nephew of Arthur H. Vandenberg, a former U.S. Senator of Michigan. Okay, so these are other alleged members. We've got Carl Compton, was a prominent American physicist and president of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, from 1930 to 1948. According to the FBI, Compton's file was destroyed on August 30, 2006. Of course it was. So last one, Dr. Eric A. Walker was president of the Pennsylvania State University from 1956 to 1970, and a founding member of the National Academy of Engineering. Born in Long Eaton, England, Dr. Walker earned a bachelor degree from Harvard University in electrical engineering, a master's degree in business administration, and doctorate in general science and engineering from Harvard. During World War II, Walker was associate director of the Underwater Sound Laboratory, initially located at Harvard, but relocated to the campus of Penn State University. Guessing that means Pennsylvania. Dr. Walker remained at Penn State, becoming head of the Department of Electrical Engineering. Then Dean of the College of Engineering and Architecture in 1951. Next, Dr. Walker became Vice President for Research at Penn State in 1956 and President of the university also in 1956. He was allegedly identified by scientist Dr. Robert Sarbacker as one of the members of a team invited in 1950 to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base to be briefed on the details of a UFO crash recovery and retrieval. According to the FBI, there may have been additional records on Walker, but they were destroyed on 29th of the 5th, 1979. Because it's American, they've got the dates ran the other way compared to how we're used to saying them here in Australia. And on 1/10/1988. In addition to the documents destroyed, there was an additional single page of material found at the IRS. According to the IRS, the document is classified / exempted under Exemption B3 under the FOIA and is entirely withheld. Ooh, must be something big on that document. You definitely know that if documents are destroyed or they're completely withheld, that there's something big on them. But anyway, that's it for this video. If you liked, learning about the Majestic 12, I've got a lot more videos coming and a lot more files and shit that I have to read through. So yeah, make sure you check it, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see all of you guys in the next video.